Welcome to The Explainer. You know that technology that's kind of everywhere? In your house, in your car, even running your city? Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. We're diving deep into the Internet of Things, this massive, sprawling network of connected stuff that is, no joke, changing literally everything.
All right, let's just start with a number to kind of wrap our heads around this. 18 billion. In 2024, that's how many active IoT devices were online around the globe. Think about that for a second. That's more than 2 connected devices for every single person on Earth. Wild, right?
And believe it or not, we're really just at the beginning. That number, it's not just creeping up, it's absolutely exploding. I mean, forecasts are showing it could skyrocket to over 32 billion devices by 2030. This isn't just some slow and steady trend, people. It's a full-on tidal wave of connectivity.
Okay, so how in the world do we make sense of all this? Well, here's the game plan. We're going to look at the state of IoT right now, then jump into the huge changes in industry, talk about computing on the edge, get real about security, check out some future-forward trends, and then wrap it all up with the big picture. All right, let's get into it. First up, the state of IoT. Let's ground ourselves in what's happening right now and, follow the money behind all these billions of devices. Get a load of this number, $875 billion. That's what the global IoT market is expected to hit in 2025 alone. So what's driving that insane growth? It all comes down to businesses being hungry for data. They need better, faster decisions, and they need them now to stay ahead of the game. Okay, let's shift gears to our first huge trend. This is where IoT stops being about your smart toaster and starts being a truly world-changing force, the industrial transformation. So what we're doing here is embedding tiny sensors and smart software into massive machinery. They call it the industrial IoT, or IIoT for short. And the benefits are just incredible. We're talking about taking humans out of dangerous jobs, being able to track a single package with pinpoint accuracy across the globe, and using live data to make sure everything coming off the line is absolutely perfect. And the impact here is massive. Just picture a factory floor for a second. A tiny sensor on a huge machine picks up a vibration that's just a little off. It's the first hint of a breakdown. Boom! An alert gets sent, maintenance gets scheduled, and a potentially million-dollar failure is stopped before it even starts. That, right there, is the magic of predictive maintenance. All right, next up, we've got a trend that is all about one thing: speed. We're talking about edge computing. And I love this analogy. If the industrial IoT is the muscle, then edge computing is the super fast nervous system that makes decisions in the blink of an eye. So what is edge computing, really? It's actually pretty simple. Instead of sending data on this long journey all the way to a server in the cloud and then waiting for an answer, the device itself, the edge, does the thinking right there on the spot. It's got its own brain, so it can analyze the data and act instantly. And this is the key difference, right? For something like a self-driving car or, a robot performing surgery, you can't have any delay, not even a millisecond. That latency you get with the cloud is a deal breaker. Edge computing gets rid of that lag, that bottleneck, and makes real-time control a reality. And yeah, the money follows the need. Global spending on edge computing hit $228 billion in 2024. That's a 14% jump from the year before. It just goes to show you that businesses are absolutely betting the farm on this idea of bringing intelligence right to the edge. Okay, so we have billions and billions of devices coming online. That brings us to our next trend, and honestly, it might be the most critical one of all. Because you have to remember, every single smart thermostat, every factory sensor, it's a new door, a new potential way in for cyber attacks. And here's what's so crucial to get. In the world of IoT, everything is connected to everything else. So if a hacker gets into just one single weak device, it can be like knocking over the first domino. The whole network can be at risk. This is a huge, huge challenge for everyone, from big companies all the way down to you and me. So, no surprise here, because of this growing threat, the market for IoT security is just exploding. It has to, just to keep up. We're basically in a constant arms race between the people building this amazing connected world and the people trying to tear it down. So, the big question is, how do we fight back? Well, there's no single magic bullet. The only way is with a defense that has multiple layers.
Think of it like a castle. You don't just have one wall, you have moats and towers and guards. It's the same idea here. You need specialized software, strong passwords, tough network security, the whole shebang, from government rules down to a smart strategy inside your own company.
All right, let's switch it up now and do a kind of rapid fire look at 4 trends that are pouring gasoline on this whole IoT fire, just accelerating everything. First up, 5G. And look, this is so much more than just faster downloads for your phone. Think of 5G as the superhighway that lets millions of devices, all packed into a small area like a factory or a city block, talk to each other instantly. It's the secret sauce that makes things like connected cars, cars talking to each other to avoid crashes, actually possible. Next, sustainability. IoT is actually giving us some incredible tools to tackle huge environmental problems. We're talking smart sensors in fields that tell a farmer exactly when and where to water, cutting down on waste. Or smart buildings that literally manage their own energy use. This is efficiency, but on a planetary scale. It's a huge deal. Okay, then we have something called low-power wide area networks, or LPWANs. These things are an absolute game changer. They let little devices send tiny bits of data over massive distances using almost no power. So you can have a sensor on a shipping container in the middle of the ocean, and its battery will last for years. It's what makes tracking things globally truly practical.
And finally, where does this all come together? In smart factories. And the results? They speak for themselves. You look at a company like Siemens hitting almost 100% production quality, or P&G slashing their costs by up to 30%. This isn't just theory anymore. These are real-world, game-changing results.
Okay, so we've looked at everything from giant factories to cybersecurity to 5G. Let's take a step back and ask, what's the big picture here? What does all of this really mean? Here's the bottom line. The Internet of Things has moved way beyond just smart gadgets in our homes. It's becoming this fundamental layer of how our world works, an invisible network that's making everything more efficient, from the factories that build our stuff to the farms that grow our food. It's woven into the very fabric of our lives. And that really just leaves us with one last question, something for you to think about. As billions, and I mean billions, more devices come online, and all these trends we've talked about keep accelerating, which one do you think is going to change your world the most?